All right, that's what we're here for.
Set up on some bait. I'm seeing a ton of bait on the screen right now.
Oh, fish on. There you go. That's a good fish.
There you go.
There we go.
Big alley too, man. That is a heck of a first drop fluke.
So lucky to be able to do this time of year.
Oh, yes.
Solid fish. Oh, yeah. That's what we were waiting for. Oh, thank God.
Somehow, last season I made it all the way to August without going fluke fishing. That's a serious offense for a saltwater fisherman in the Northeast. But luckily, I'd be kicking off my belated bottom fishing season in New York, where the end of the summer is the best time for hunting big flatfish. On this trip, On the Water's Nick Cancelliere and I will be joining Doug and DJ Toback, the father-son team behind Corazon fishing charters. Before we left the dock, Doug gave us the rundown on some of the other fishing options that would help us make the most of the late summer variety off Long Island.
This is like the best time for fluke fishing, like the next 2 weeks. Awesome. Right going into the first big storm of September. The other thing that's going on is that there's inshore pelagics that are on the fluke grounds. So there's mahi, Spanish mackerel, maybe a bluefin, a small, small 50-pound bluefin. So the plan is to go out there, troll, see if we can bring something, something up, and then we can drop in for fluke.
The forecast had the winds and seas dropping off through the morning, resulting in perfect fluke fishing conditions by lunch. So, while the waves were still big, Doug elected to start the day with light tackle trolling.
So what we're using is we're using these chatter spreader bars with they have little squids on them that emulate all the bait fish. So in the past, we've only been able to run like single feathers or whatever, but Chatter came out with spreader bars that have, it's like literally like throwing a school of fish on it, and we've been highly effective in trolling and being able to do this. This is like awesome, it's so much fun.
By using a scaled-down trolling spread, Doug targets everything from bluefish and Spanish mackerel to school bluefin tuna. In the first 10 minutes of trolling, however, it was pretty clear which fish was going to dominate the catch.
Fish on.
There you go, that's a good fish.
That's pretty good, man. So what are your guesses on what that is?
It could be a falsie, it could be a bonita, it could be a bluefish. I don't think it's a bluefin tuna, otherwise he'd be at his knees. So I'm gonna go with bonita. If it's bonita, that's awesome, because they are great to eat. Bonita! All right, nicely done. Good job, DH.
Oh man, it's good looking bones. Dude, he's stout. Not like those little Cape Cod ones we're catching, dude.
I'm a big believer in like multi-purpose using these rods. These rods get used for trolling mojos, fishing for cobia. I chunk yellowfin with these.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because the drags, they're the Daiwa Saltiga reels, right? These are the 35s, and they have super high drags on them. But it's all light, so you could use it for a huge variety of fish without having to buy all these different outfits for all these different things. Like we're a big believer in reusing and really like levering our equipment for different techniques.
Oh, there we go.
Did he miss it? Jeez, DJ.
take. Here, take. You fight him, man. He's up.
Did he come off or no?
Nah, this one's off. Reckon, your hand? boat. Very nice. Ten minutes of trolling.
All
I saw
right.
that get hit.
Nice. Deej, move the rod over. Move that one right over. Cool.
I haven't even been able to get it out.
Yeah, it's good. All right. These are first world problems.
He's got a little heat to him, man. See? Oh no, he's still there.
All right, cool.
That's a good bonito, man. Yeah. They're cool looking fish when they're bigger.
Freeport, New York has a long fishing history, beginning with boat building and shell fishing in the 1800s and evolving into a destination for recreational fishing today. Anglers from around New York travel to Freeport to fish with the town's charter and party boat fleets. Doug keeps the Corazon at Guy Lombardo Marina, just a few minutes from Freeport's nautical mile, the town's waterfront district.
So typically the way we fish the boat and with the business, the way we've built it is we take advantage of our highest percentage of opportunity, right? So we'll lay the season out in a way that we think it's gonna get laid out. We'll switch what we're fishing for depending on what's going on. And we'll guide our guests that way as well. So if they're dead set on doing something, we'll go through the different options of like, hey, that's a good option, but there's a better option to do. That's a good fish, nice. Look at that, awesome, awesome. So this is absolutely so much fun. We're supposed to be fluke fishing. And this is great. This is awesome, and we're gonna have a great day fluke fishing as well. So we're just so lucky to be able to do this time of year. Be able to capitalize on the multiple opportunities that are available. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, so this late summer, I mean, the water's pretty warm, so that gives you the best chance for these kind of mixed bag trips. And you said the fluke fishing is your favorite time of year for the fluke too, right?
Exactly.
That looked a little bigger there. Oh, for a second there, dude, I thought it was going to be something a little different.
Different one.
Oh, it's just a big bonito.
That is a big one. That's why he did that. That's a good one. He has not missed many meals. Look at how big his
that is a real
bottom
big
is. You know what? That's a beauty.
Whoa, there we go. I'll take him. I'll take him. Just on a bit of a nose job.
There that one goes again.
Oh, nice.
All right, a little pocket of fish in here. I'll be honest with you, those bluefish we really haven't seen in numbers in quite a few years. They're in the bay in the spring, and they sort of... Yeah, I'll let one of you guys reel in, but that was a pretty ferocious hit. Yeah. All right, oh yeah. Yeah, let me swap with you.
Oh my God, Albie!
All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Big Albie too, man.
First Albie.
Grab that tail. Show that to Adam. I'll get this out of there. Yes. I knew there had to be something else, some besides Bonito out there, dude. That one definitely had a little more pep when he hit, too.
When he hit, my flat hard.
Throughout the morning, the Bonito barely give us a chance to set Doug's full 4-rod trolling spread. By 9 a.m., we've already lost track of how many fish we've caught, which doesn't happen all that often on a fishing trip. With the crew thoroughly warmed up from the Bonito onslaught and the seas laying down, DJ preps the Fluke gear while Doug moves a bit further offshore.
All right, guys, let's hit it.
Doug, so what are you looking for on the electronics when you're setting up your drift?
So I'm looking for structure, and I'm looking for bait. I've been in all these pieces so much that I know the different pieces of the area that I particularly like. So quite frankly, I'm just going to the more productive. You're in already? And that was quick. Awesome.
Wow.
There we go.
That was like seconds into the drop. Oh man, feels heavy. Got some weight, dude. Yeah, feels pretty good. It's the right flavor, which I think it is. It's big Fluke.
We got a Fluke here.
Is it a good one?
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Right off the bat, it's a good fish. Look at that, it's a good fish.
That is a good fish, man. He took some line, too. You're just in the middle of telling us how you selected your spots.
There we go. Whoop, come on back. Perfect. All right, well, that's the way we started. That's a keeper fish, too. Bottom hook, right on the fish bite. Do me a favor, just work it out for me. Thanks. That's a good fish. Look at that.
I'm gonna check him. So it's got to be 19 and a half here in New York. It's a pretty healthy minimum size for them. Zero the tail. That's 20 and a half inches. That is a heck of a first drop Fluke. Bit over 20 inches, Cat.
All right, get that. First fish of the day. Beauty, baby. Gotta love August.
Set up on some bait. I'm seeing a ton of bait on the screen right now. And we saw that when we were trolling for the Bonito. He said all this bait's a great sign for what we're hoping to do fluke fishing wise. Down just like
Perfect.
that. All right.
Nicely done, man.
Thank you. Hey, doesn't get much better than that. There's no no
fun.
buildup.
We're like over prime area here. So retip. How did he hit?
He was just there. All of a sudden, I went to lift and he was on it.
Yeah, you know what? Snagging the side, they may be laying on it. So let's keep an eye on that. You guys, no problem, right? On the bottom with 6? Cool.
We're all on 5.
5, even better. That was awesome, but very little work involved. So the way, can I grab your rod for a sec? Would that be okay? The way I like to fish, obviously it's on the bottom. Okay, it's on the bottom, give it half a reel. So it's open, I fish open, and I do it like this. And then you feel, you constantly, doing this does a couple things. Number 1, it moves everything. Then number 2, you feel everything that's on there. So just as this fish starts to sniff, because you're working it like this, they feel it right away. And then then you can decide what it's gonna be.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Constant motion. He popped that. That one popped it pretty good.
And this is what we're fishing over. If you take a look on the screen here, you could just see all the bait. This is all bait that's piled up on the bottom of the screen.
Now, what is that likely? What kind of bait's that?
It's white bait. There's probably some sea bass in there. And quite honestly, I'm not 100% sure what the rest of it is. All I know is there's a lot of bait down there. Oh man, we're going over a little pocket of fish here. You miss it, open it up and drop it back. And they'll come back and hit it like 70% of the time. Oh, Jimmy putting on a show.
How much weight can these rods handle? What's the max?
I mean, we've gone up to 8 to 10 on them. It starts pressing it a little bit, 10 ounces. We have other rods we'll jump into, but it can handle 8, no problem.
And what pound test braid are you fishing?
We either fish 20 or 30.
That lets you get away with a little less weight too, using like the 20 pound test.
The 20 is nice because it's definitely less weight, but this time of year, I'm doing a lot of 30. We're fishing in a lot of nasty structure. We use the higher quality Super 8 braid that's a little bit thinner. The J-Braid actually, we find is probably the thinnest and most durable. So we use a lot of that. Both of those are high quality though, they're both really good.
Oh yes. There's some drag slippage.
After that first drop 20-incher, the fluke bites come fast, but with New York's strict minimum size, keepers are hard to come by. As we continue to fish, Doug pulls out his playbook for culling out larger fluke.
DJ, why don't you swap that in case one of the other guys wants to try that? Put a squid on it, full whole squid. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Are you guys on the spoon yet or no?
I think Nick's going to one.
All right, here's the deal with this one. You gotta fish with an open reel, and when you feel the fish hit, just open it up and let them just kind of like eat for a little bit. You gotta cast it just a little bit further away from the boat so it kind of goes down in a V. You can't just drop it because what'll happen is it'll kind of fold up on itself and turn.
There we go. There we go. Better.
Seems to be a little bit, well, I'm gonna go and do this drift again. It's getting a little bit more productive here. Have his, have the net ready on this guy?
Whoa, maybe. It is.
Good fish?
Think so.
Good
Think
fish.
so.
Solid fish.
Oh, ready?
Nice. All right, woo! That's a legit fish. Here we go.
Sure is, man.
Here we go.
Oh, you go. Oh, man, there we go.
All right.
Yes.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah,
Off the beaten path, baby.
Well, everybody was switching to the spoon. I danced with the one who brung me, so.
Corazon fishing right there, baby. That makes me happy.
Those rods are so fun.
So much fun, right?
Mind if I measure them?
The heck yeah, man.
Curiosity?
We're gonna capitalize on this. Nice.
21 inches, man. I love these fish, man. So much fun. So much history, and just hard enough to make it interesting. You know, it's not like just the drop and reel fishing for sea bass. A little more technical, which makes it so much more rewarding when you do finally pick that keeper fish out of all the shorts. Got a nice little smorgasbord happening in there. Good eating ahead.
So I am literally gonna get right on that drift. Let's see if we can go and smoke out a good shot of fish here.
Yeah, so it's got the easy strip. It had, I think, one of the shrimp, and it's the floating jig heads. Since I switched to this rig, they seem to really wallop it. So I had the rivet teasers before. The floating jig heads, they really hit it. There's less foreplay about it. They just seem to go right.
So those are M3s. That's all his stuff. They're awesome. That's all. That's probably sea bass in there, but just the fact that there's so much bait here is good. All right, down.
So what's your electronic system right now?
I run a complete Simrad setup. So starting from the bottom, I've got two different transducers. I run a high-low wide Airmar Simrad transducer on one side, and then I run a B260 on the other side. The B260 I use for bottom fishing, which is what we're doing now. right? And the chirps have a wider view, so that's when I'm using that for tuna fishing and striped bass fishing. We've got autopilot, and I've got 3 MFDs. I got a 16, a 12, and a 9. I've got AIS. I've got the integrated radio, and most importantly, I'm running the Halo 3000.
Oh, okay.
That's which is their brand new radar, which is definitely a game changer. With the Halo 3000, I can see birds 6 to 8 miles off. Those have been game changers for tuna fish and striped bass. When we're bottom fishing, I can take a look to see if people are on an area that I want to go to from 6 to 8 miles away, which saves me a trip from running into an area if there's too many people covering the area. That's been really big, especially on the fluke fishery.
It's a rarity that a fishing trip saves the best for last. Most often, the peak comes sometime in the middle, with a tapering off of both the fishing action and angler enthusiasm until everyone agrees that it's time to head for the barn. The day aboard the Corazon followed that trajectory as the undersized fluke became more infrequent and only one more keeper had hit the deck during more than a dozen drifts. When Doug declared that we were down to our final few drifts, I focused in on the fishing, hoping to see one more big fluke before the day was over. It was then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw DJ set the hook.
He just looks like he's got a real one on.
That's a good fish.
Yes!
Oh yeah! That's what we were waiting for! Oh, thank God! I took some of the pressure off.
That's a beautiful fish.
All right, that's what we're here for. See what was coming up when I heard all you guys talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that it?
He was trying to stay calm so you could finish what you were saying.
It was, thank you.
I was letting him finish as hard as I could.
Nice. Nicely done.
Perfect smasher.
That was a great net job.
All right, ended up in the bucket, so for sure.
Beautiful fish, man. What a mixed bag of summer delights.
DJ's big fluke earned us a few more extra drifts, but with a cooler full of fish to cut, it was time to steam for Jones Inlet. I might have started my fluke season late, but after a day with nearly constant action, I felt like I'd more than made up for lost time. Back at the dock, we divvied up the fillets and discussed what other fishing we still needed to sneak in before summer was over.